Story 1. I really love summoning Salt. He has such a nice and entertaining way to dive deep into speedruns. Even games I have never played are super interesting to watch, even though the videos are quite long. He gets you up to speed, and what I personally like is that he gives you a good perception of how incredible the runs are in terms of optimization and execution. The Tetris video is highly recommended. Story 2. Annie Austin. He makes videos about video games, It's more him meandering about the mundanity he creates from questions he asks for his video essays. Like, where do all the rivers in Skyrim come from? What's the unemployment rate of Solitude? These types of questions that a player isn't supposed to be thinking about. Just adds a fun twist to things. His videos are from 15 minutes to 20 minutes, and he has playlists available. This type of content is perfect to fall asleep to for me. Story 3. Ryan George. His pitch meetings and some other stuff he does are so entertaining. He's just a funny guy with that Canadian Ryan Reynolds wit and charisma about him. Story 4. Mr. Ballin. Thoughty 2. Scary, interesting. Bright Sun Films. Oceanliner Designs. I get excited when I see new videos from any of these. Story 5. Atrocity Guide is a great storyteller of bizarre stories and has a soothing voice. My favorite video of hers is on Bob's Game. Barely Sociable is similar to Atrocity Guide. My favorite video by him is on his second channel, Slightly Sociable, about the emergency call of a woman named Ruth Price. So has done an excellent documentary on the movie Food Fight, and has made several other interesting videos. Fanboy Flicks is a very straightforward bad movie review channel. He has also been uploading some of the movies he reviews. Andrea's Fashion Galaxy is a fashion-based channel run by a really cute, fun person who is really fun to watch. She has a lot of clothes. Avery Talks About Stuff is a pretty small channel, but she shares the same obsession with the show Beyond Belief, fact or fiction, that I do. Frederick Knudsen makes very long videos about interesting subjects. He made a 5-hour video on the EVE Online video game, but my favorite of his will always be on the Final Fantasy house. Emma in the Moment makes videos about craft-related drama. I stumbled upon that rabbit hole this year, and it is quite deep. Jackie Druchko is a character designer who talks about animation and art-related stuff. She also made a short film on her channel. Blamite George is one of my oldest subscriptions. He's gone through several phases, but has generally done horror, creepy internet, lost media, and mystery-type content. Bernevids is hard to describe, but he does documentary and essay-style videos about internet history and niche pop culture history. My favorite videos are on Low-Tax and the video on the Tiny Toon Stalker. Defunctland makes videos about former theme park rides and the history of theme parks. I hate everything seems to have lost interest in his channel, which bums me out because he used to be my favorite YouTuber. My favorite videos of his were his search for the worst movie reviews. Cynical Reviews is another movie reviewer, and occasionally does videos on other stuff. He is a bit in the same vein as I Hate Everything. Your Movie Sucks makes movie reviews. He banned me on 2 of his subreddits for saying he can't take criticism, he can't. But I still watch him despite his ego. He makes good content. Dream Jelly makes videos about 2000s nostalgia, like old Flash games, the Scholastic Book Fair, Kid Pics, etc. Kylie Bogley makes videos about internet mysteries and lost media. I'm very into lost media, so there's probably a pattern starting to form regarding that. Ralph the Moviemaker seems to have become disillusioned with making content, but has some hilarious videos in his backlog. Lopsy is a woman from the Netherlands, living her best cottagecore life. I believe she recently had her baby. Lady Emily does video essays on various topics like Channel Awesome and the Gorillas. Little Bubby Child is an animator who makes really funny shorts I would best describe as reflections of growing up in Kentucky. I'm hoping Adult Swim notices him because I want a full series. Matt Draper makes videos about movies and other pop culture. My favorite video by him is about DreamWorks. Lowercase Jai is a video essayist. My favorite video by him is about 2.5 Men. Mermaid Grove shares my obsession with kitchen nightmares and makes videos about the episodes and what happened to the restaurants afterward. Oki's Weird Stories continues to put more and more effort into his work. He makes videos about strange stories. My favorite is about Terry Tilly. Rebel Taxi is an animator who makes a lot of videos about animation, especially from the 1990s to 2000s. He shares my love for Cartoon Network and is another one of my oldest subscriptions. Salmonella Academy makes really funny videos about random topics. His animations are simple but really funny. Pigeon Doll is an artist, fashion designer, and doll designer. He recently did a drawing every day for Halloween and it was awesome. Shea Valley is similar to Kylie Bogley, focusing on lost media and strange internet stuff. Channel Surfer is a great video essayist with varying YouTube views. Some of his videos have hundreds of thousands of views, some have very little. It's pretty random. Regardless, he makes videos on topics like movie studios, SNCC, and some lost media. Yesterworld makes videos about topics like the history of the Howard the Duck movie, the rise and fall of Showbiz Pizza, and some videos regarding theme parks. I sometimes confuse him with Defunctland. Story 6. Brain Blaze. I cannot explain why I like it, and the host is equally puzzled about why it's popular. It gets especially good when things go off the rails. Story 7. Forestry Forest. Amazing shots around British Columbia and the Pacific Northwest. Very cool guy, van life, climbs cool mountain peaks and takes great shots, does trail maintenance. I don't care so much about the van life aspect, but it's interesting nonetheless. Story 8. Matt Armstrong. Watching him rebuild cars with his dad and friends is really soothing after a long day of work, especially with their UK accents and humor. Story 9. Andrew Camarata started out as a time-lapse landscaper but now builds castles and owns tons of big equipment like excavators and rock crushers. He just gets a ton of stuff done. Really impressive kind of guy. Story 10. Internet Today. Cooking with Dog. Rest in peace, Francis. Story 11. For now, Cody's Lab, I've been watching all his videos. I'm now watching the 6-year-old ones. But in general, they are science YouTubers and also Penguins Zero. Story 12. I love How to Basic. It's a channel with great tips and tricks for the whole family to enjoy. Story 13. It's excruciating because it's melting my brain with the stupidity that is but Jubilee. It's gotten to a guilty pleasure point because I love watching people act inadequately educationally. Major scientific facts are argued over as if they haven't been proven wrong time and time again, or the factor of opinion bias is pushed to justify a theory-based fact. I could go on. Story 14. Matt Armstrong, a British car enthusiast, and his dad and crew rebuild wrecked salvage title sports and supercars. His charisma and camera presence are just perfect. The shows are engaging and really a treat to watch. Story 15. Dry bar comedy. Don't get me wrong, where I grew up, F***K and S***T were words hanging on the walls of kindergartens next to apple and water. But it's nice to have clean comedy you can watch with the whole family, based entirely on comedy and not on shock value. I often need comic relief in my life. Story 16. Pete Santinello's page is great. He is a documentarian who goes to places, meets people, and shows sides of these places and people you may never have known. He does it with an unbiased, kind view. Great watch. Story 17. Watching the Ariel or Hats Off productions are both great video essayists who seem to make videos about things they're passionate about instead of content for views like 99% of YouTube. Story 18. Ray Narvaez Jr. Twitch streamer posts video on demand content on YouTube. He has been playing Mario Party with friends and virtual YouTubers. Raren and Covert Go Blue. Raren plays Hearthstone, and Covert Go Blue plays Magic: The Gathering. They create videos together where they show each other cards from their games and guess if they are good or not. Story 19. Arvin Haddad reacts to and critiques tours of mega mansions. Not exactly very relevant to me, but I find it really interesting. Neebs Gaming is just a group of guys goofing around, but they have great chemistry and usually play games I have played. Rest in peace, Thick44. Story 20. Bald and Bankrupt. When he uploads, the videos are great and eye-opening. His friend Harold B. Something. Peppeter's Chinese series is crazy. I like travel channels that go to places I would never. Story 21. There's a certain kind of bliss from watching Perkins Builder Brothers. Those guys make the job look so much fun. It's got me wondering about my choice of work. Story 22. For aviation live streams, I would go with LA Flights, Airline Videos Live, Mr. Gaucho, and Cali Planes. For aircraft maintenance, Stig Aviation. For trick shots, you can't go wrong with Dude Perfect and How Ridiculous. I've got a lot of different interests that have the right YouTube channels for my needs. Story 23. Film Cooper. Coop. Call me Chris, Mr. Ballin, Mr. Nightmare. Ben of the Week. Rabal D. Eric Tabach. Oompaville, Oompa TV. Mama Dr. Jones. Dr. Mike. Dr. Yoon. Lazy Masquerade. Nick Crowley. Alter. Story 24. Atomic Shrimp. I started watching his scambaiting videos but stayed for his weird food challenges and foraging adventures. His calm voice is the perfect background noise while I'm working from home. Story 25. Noah Caldwell-Gervais does not upload regularly, but every video is worth a year's worth of uploads from anyone else. Retrospectives and analyses of games and their series are given with such great context that it elevates the idea of games as art to me. Watching his video on Wolfenstein alone is the best summation of the history of video games I have ever seen. Story 26. Bomber Guy. He only does one video a year, but when he finally releases a video, it is awesome. Death Battle, Russian Badger, and Jaden Animations are channels I will always watch. And Pitch Meetings I can watch over and over again. Story 27. All of the Hermitcraft crew. I watch Itho and Smallish Beans in particular. They are both awesome. I also started watching other content creators from various Minecraft events like Sandwich Lord, A Cookie God, Feinberg, and Fire Breath Man. Story 28. Impossible to choose one. Creator that's still relatively active, Veritasium. Creator that's not so active, Vsauce. Easy runner-ups. Polymatter. Real Engineering. Engineering Explained. Wendover Productions. Kurzgesagt. Ben Felix. Polymatter. Marcus Brownlee. Isinometry. Story 29. Sam Reed. He is a review and variety show creator. And for someone in that space, he has so much heart. He's so wholesome, and his content seems genuinely authentic. I highly suggest checking him out if you haven't. Story 30. Perkins Builder Brothers if you're into anything construction related. Very down-to-earth guys. Show their mistakes and how to get past them, and have great camaraderie. Story 31. Peter Santinello. His videos are refreshingly insightful, and his way of documenting places the media hardly visits is laid back. It helps that he is very even-tempered and barely opinionated. When he interviews people, he puts all the spotlight on them and patiently allows them to share their views. It never feels like he's rushing to respond to anything they're saying, allowing his interviews to unfold organically. I started binge-watching his videos months ago and quickly became a fan. He seems like a really cool guy to chat with, and I hope he comes by my city sometime to make a video. Story 32. Geology Hub 5-minute bites of volcanoes, impact craters, current events, and other cool stuff. Fresh daily and narrated by an actual educated geologist with a human voice. History Time and Pete Kelly, the same person with a perfect narration voice. Awesome history videos. Cutting edge engineering as an actual industrial mechanic. I can certify that Curtis knows his stuff. As a former miner, he's definitely broken rock before. Plus, Karen the camera woman is a gem, and there are regular shots of Homie the shop dog. The history guy is like Bill Nye for history. Practical Engineering with Grady is about the best large-scale engineering show I've ever seen. Nayad's Aqua is extremely attractive, a total nerd dream, and super calming. Story 33. Outdoor Boys. Luke and his kids and wife make great videos. I feel like I know them, laugh out loud. The dude is knowledgeable, practical, and funny. I also have a 4-year-old who loves camping and being outdoors, so it also gives us great ideas and things to try. Story 34. Veritasium. Smarter Every Day. Undecided with Matt Farrell. Kyle Hill. SU. Brick Sculpt. Fact or Fantasy. Full motion videos. In Deep Geek. Kamui Cosplay. Louis Zome. Mitch Builds. Moser Makes. My Mechanics. PBS Spacetime. Practical Engineering, Runesmith, Settled, The Lasso Hobbier, Tierzu, Wowkrender, Story 35, Totally Not Mark. Dude's love for Dragon Ball is something that I respect deeply. Another pick for me is Mr. Beat, insanely knowledgeable about history and gives me awkward history teacher vibes. Story 36, Doug. He is just a Twitch gamer streamer, but he has a great rapport with his community, and his videos are more about his interaction and banter with the Twitch chat than the actual games he plays. He also codes, so he often develops scripts and comes up with ridiculous ideas, such as pitting Twitch chat against an artificial intelligence Napoleon in Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, or banning certain words or letters in Twitch chat and banning anyone who says them. Sometimes orderly and sometimes chaotic, but Doug is really good at keeping control of the stream while also making it feel like he isn't.